Now, when we track connectivity, we're looking at the number of reachable endpoints in a country from outside that country, which is a great way to understand how accessible that country is from the outside. What we've seen is that there has been this gradual restoration that is consistent with what we've seen in past incidents in Iran. This is a process that can take several hours, days, even weeks for the provinces. So it's definitely a stepwise process, but we've seen that that process does appear to have begun. We're seeing that connectivity remains quite heavily restricted. There's the filter net in place, that is Iran's pre-existing censorship mechanism. There are also additional filtering mechanisms in place that weren't there before. For example, WhatsApp was quite popular for people to communicate, and now that is restricted. You have to use a VPN just to use that. Beyond that, we're also seeing that the connectivity that is available is quite unstable. So we're not quite there yet. Although there's quite good reach in terms of connectivity, it's not as solid, as stable as it was perhaps towards the end of last year. So it's still in progress in terms of a restoration, but it does mean that that flow of information is much more there than it has been over the last few weeks. So Iran can be quite reactive in terms of what's happening on the ground, especially if there are protests. Now, this decision seems to be more policy based. It's policy driven. So that means that there's a decision process behind it. And that means that there's a bit more of a chance that this could be sustained unless there's a U-turn that happens or unless there's huge disagreement within government at the moment. There are also technical reasons why connectivity could collapse, why it may not be able to hold after a period of outage. But right now, I think it's past that threshold where they seem to be serious about bringing back service to at least where it was around January. Well, a lot of decisions being made in Iran are based on feelings and emotions and belief. Whereas the move towards switching on the internet has been marked with a more technocratic approach. It's a real pragmatic observation that the internet shutdown is really costing the economy and it is disadvantaging ordinary people. So it does indicate a possible return to some degree of rationality, which does help Iran's standing as a credible entity around the world. By our own cost analysis, we've seen that the impact of this to the GDP is in excess of 40 million USD per day. That's quite a lot. It adds up over time, and there can be further downstream impacts as well. So that's just the start of it. Now you look at that and you see that Iran is already in a tight spot. It has sanctions, and the internet really facilitates the kind of informal or additional types of trade and business Iran needs to survive, but also for ordinary people to just be able to live day to day and keep going in the face of difficult times. As many people come online, some people don't come online. They'll never come online because lives have been lost through this time, through this tragic series of both the protests, the crackdown, and then the war. So it's a moment when you see that some of your friends won't be coming back online, some of your friends and family might not be returning. So it's very bittersweet, but also people have just been so isolated for the last few months that I think that overall there is a lot of celebration. It's not the same thing as being grateful. A lot of Iranians that we've spoken to don't recognize the right of the government to switch off or switch on the internet at will. So it shouldn't be confused with gratefulness, but it is a sense of relief.